Hi, I'm Ellen and I make podcasts. When I tell people that at parties or whatever, I usually get two reactions. The first being, oh my God, that's so cool, which it is. I love audio and I have loved audio for a very long time now. This is me at an outside broadcast, or OB, at the community radio station in the Hills District that I started volunteering at as a 16-year-old. I loved audio, I kept doing audio, I moved to a bigger community radio station, the OBs got more ambitious, and it was there that I started podcasting. Since then, I've gone on to make podcasts for law firms, for universities, Guardian Australia, the ABC. Currently, I make narrative podcasts for Listener. And solidarity to all my media pals out there, because it's a tough time to be in this industry. The second reaction I get when I tell people I make podcasts is, oh, I've always wanted to start a podcast. If I had $1 for every time someone said that to me, I could single-handedly fund the entire Australian media industry right now. Do us all a favour and put Rupert out of business. Hands up if someone has said that to you. I want to start a podcast. Keep your hands up if that person was white and male and thinks they're really funny when they're not. I've made podcasts that have had 100 listeners. I've made podcasts that have had over 1 million listeners. I know through RSI and my own tears how hard it is to start a podcast. See episode 1, version 18 for one of my recent projects. So when you tell me at a party about the little podcast you want to start, I smile politely. And I think of all the reasons why you shouldn't do it. The first being, there are too many podcasts. This is how many podcasts there are. Over 4 million. This is taken from the podcast index this week. This is the ocean of content you are drowning in if you want to launch a podcast. If I'm in the mood for some self-flagellation, I'll ask a follow-up question. What do you want your podcast to be about? They'll tell me, I'll immediately think, your idea sucks. Because you haven't had an original thought in your life. Because you've done no market research to see what else is out there, to see if anyone else is making your podcast, which, spoiler, 4 million podcasts, they definitely are. You've given no thought as to who the audience is and what value you might bring to this audience. You are boring me right now at this party. What hope does a listener have? You can't put something out into the world and hope for the best, because here's my next reason. It takes ages to build an audience. We've all seen the podcast deals the likes Joe Rogan have made. There are many reasons Rogan is successful. One of them is the early adopter advantage. His podcast started in 2009. Taking a look at the podcasts that are consistently in the top 10 shows in Australia, and I did this math, they started on average in 2013. Sydney real estate agents love to tell you the best time to buy was yesterday. I'm here to tell you the best time to start a podcast was 2006. I work in narrative. Part of my job is to find the twist. I don't want to deny anyone the magic of audio, so I'm going to reframe everything you've just heard and tell you why you should start a podcast and how to make it good. There are too many podcasts. 2.2 million books got published last year. 3.7 million YouTube videos and 34 million TikToks are going to go out in the next 24 hours alone. There is too much content everywhere. 4 million podcasts doesn't seem so bad now, does it? And here's the other silver lining. Not all of them are active podcasts. Active is defined as posting an episode in the last 90 days. Apple reckons only 16% of podcasts are active. I've done a little bit more maths. You're looking at around 650,000 podcasts out of 4 million that are active podcasts. I'm going to guess a lot of those inactive podcasts are people diving in, realising how hard it is to make a podcast, how hard it is to gain an audience, and giving up. So you can stand out in that. You just need to make your idea suck less. And this isn't just applicable to podcasting. This is any type of content creation. You may not have had an original idea in your life, but what can you make that no one else in the world can make? What are you infectiously passionate about? What is your weird, why are you doing this? Once you can articulate that, preferably in 25 words or less, then you can start to think about how to build an audience. Who is going to listen to your podcast? Why are they going to come and listen to you and not 649,999 other podcasts? How will you find that audience? How will you convince them to give you a try? And how will you convince them to come back to you again and again? You are not entitled to an audience. You have to earn your audience. So if you've got a unique idea, a specific audience that's currently underserved by what else is out there on the market, you're passionate, you've got a long-term plan for success, then bring me $1. Let's talk about your podcast. Thank you.
Thank you, Ellen.